welcome to My Kind of Life TV, where we share inspiration for kind people like yourself. I'm Emily Nolan, and today we're going to talk about what does it even take to start a blog, and is your idea even blog worthy? Today with us, we have Maria Tettamanti from the wordygirl.co. That's .co. She is Miami's top fashion bloganista. Is that a word? And she's also a mommy of two amazing young little cutie patootie kids. And she is here today because she is also a full-time blogger, and she has some great knowledge to drop on you today. So welcome, Maria. Maria, you remind me of a West Side Story.
That voice.
Ow! Nice to have you on My Kind of Life TV today.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah, thank you. Today we're going to be talking about bloggers and if their idea is blog worthy,
Okay.
and if they should even start a blog, which I think in my life I get a ton of questions where people automatically think they should start a blog because everyone has one, right? Or
Right.
it's a thing to do.
Blogging is the new black.
It is the new black, yeah, exactly. And so I think it's nice to let them know from two full-time bloggers, our experience, and if it's even worth it for them or what you recommend for somebody in certain situations. And so my experience, let's say my husband who owns a real estate company says, I should start a blog about Miami real estate. And I think your husband is in real estate too, so
Yes.
you can relate. And I said, you might, but what might be a better option for you is an email collection service, so you can send newsletters out and keep your clients updated on what's going on or a property you have, whatever. So in your experience, I'm wondering if you've come across, or what you would suggest to people who should start a blog and who shouldn't start a blog.
What I always say that is there's two kinds of bloggers. There's lifestyle bloggers like you and I, where we have a passion. For me, it's cooking, it's fashion, and for you, it's living a kind life, a vegan lifestyle. And then there's business bloggers who have a business, say like it's a real estate professional, a photographer, and they want to get customers to come. They want to make sales, they want to sell a condo. So there's the lifestyle blogger, the business blogger, and for your husband and my husband, I would say embed a blog within your company's website.
Okay.
And that's the difference between the two.
Okay.
And the idea is when somebody Googles Miami Beach penthouse, your husband's website's gonna pop up because he has a blog embedded within it.
Right. Now, when would you not suggest somebody to start a blog? Because from my experience, some people that I suggest not to start a blog are people that don't have the time and don't have either the financial resources or even the desire to be constantly updating and editing content.
Right, okay. I don't think you should start a blog if, again, you can't do it once a week because people do want fresh content.
Right.
If your writing skills are on, I had a friend who started a blog and her blog was riddled with grammar errors.
Right.
And I'm like, you can't put this up. I mean, you're making yourself look like,
Especially from you.
I know, like you
Miss
can't,
editor.
you're like missing a comma, this is spelled wrong. So if you don't have the time to give people proper grammar and a good voice,
Right.
don't do it.
Right.
And photography as well.
Right.
You know, if you don't have the time to take pictures or grab captivating pictures from other people, it's not worth your time.
Right. So how did you start your blog? What was the tipping point to saying like, okay, what did you do before you started a blog? And then what made you want to pursue actually putting all that work and effort into your beautiful, thewordygirl.co?
For sure. I'm a journalist by trade. I write for the Miami Herald, and I would meet all these really cool and interesting people, but I couldn't necessarily find a home for them in the paper. And I said, God, I really want to give these people a voice. I really want to write about them. Or I've just got this great tunic at Calypso. I want to share it with the universe. So
Which
kind of,
I need to go get.
Yes.
It's amazing.
which is basically how it started. I had all these stories in my head and I needed a home. So
Yeah.
I'd say that's how it kind of just evolved into just something bigger.
I have the same experience. When I started as a model, I thought I was gonna have a voice and say like, oh, now that I'm a model, or what some people would say, like a plus size model who's out there sharing like another idea of what's a great idea of a body or whatever. I thought I was gonna have a voice, but I didn't. So I was kind of disappointed, but not really, because the journey was well worth it, and it still is. But now I've built a blog to share my voice because I do have a following, and there are people that need to hear that not only is she a great picture, which is all photoshopped by the way. I have a dress on because it hides all the stuff you don't want to see. I never wear shorts unless I'm like in a foreign country. But you know, it was a voice for me to share something that was really needed in the community, and that's inspiration for kind people, and just to encourage people to choose kindness, because we all have part of our journey that is difficult, and if you have a decision to choose like kind or being like a total bia, you know, like choose kindness. So that was my message, and I would suggest if somebody else had a greater message and something to share that is infectious, because I feel like your style and your voice is very infectious, and I always click on your emails when you send them in my inbox. It's really fun, and it's like a breath of fresh air. And I think...
But going back to what you're saying, if you don't... I don't see the point in starting a blog unless you have that passion, unless you have a voice. Again, for you it's being vegan, and for me it's being creative and having a crazy day or whatever it is. But if you don't have that hold on life, and then what's the point of it, you know? What's the point? You're not there to sell you're not here to sell cookies. You're here, you're selling a lifestyle.
Exactly. So tell me this, how did you decide to make money on the blog, or was it freebies that you were trying to go for, like building a larger platform for a book, or what was your
that was the other thing. I always tell people, don't get into blogging to make money. That was another that was reason number 2, like don't start blogging. I didn't
don't get into blogging to make money.
I don't think I made a dime for like the first 2 years, you know? And then it just happens organically. I wrote about 50 Shades of Grey, I'm sorry, that book. And the next day, someone sent porn to my house. That was my first swag.
Awesome.
Somebody sent me porn, and they wanted me to review it because since I wrote about 50 Shades of Grey.
Oh my god, that's the funniest story.
So my first swag was porno. It was great. I didn't watch it, but what happened was people started sending me things. I'm like, oh, this is so great. They wanted me to review things, and then I found myself in this pickle. Like, I don't like half the stuff people are sending me, and I felt like, but I have to write about it. But then I was like, no. Finding that sweet spot of, do I write about it, do I not? And you have to write about things you're passionate about. Because it just feels inauthentic if you don't.
Yeah, for sure. And I had the same issue. My blog's only a year old. I was with you when I started my blog at your Working Women's Workshop, which you offer online. So if any viewers are interested in starting their own blog, Maria has some great knowledge to drop, like I told you before, on how to start a blog and kind of what we're talking about today and how to do it.
And so you get free stuff, and then eventually people start reaching out and saying, oh, how much for ad space? And then you have to come up with a media kit, because then you have a media kit. And then you start hosting gigs and getting paid hourly for that. And then I'd say the biggest way to make money is advertising, sponsored posts, and via social media. You can charge for Instagram, you can charge for Facebook status updates. It's pretty wild.
And that's what I do. And I actually use that money that I make and then funnel it back into my blog. So, you know, as a typical business doesn't make a huge profit from 3 to 5 years of like their startup. And I can totally relate to that, because I've been taking all of the money that I've been making through sponsored posts. I'm not doing as much advertising on the site because I want to keep it clean, but I do advertising through posts or through videos, and people sponsor the videos and endorsements, and doing public speaking events. Like you go to Saks and all these different companies and host blogger events. And
I think the real value in one's blog is that it's your online resume. And I keep telling people that. When people say, oh, can you write my hotel's newsletter? I said, sure. If you like, go to my blog. If you like my voice, if you like my style, hire me. My contact information is there. So I think for you as well, if you want to hire me for your campaign, go to my blog. There's some great au naturel shots of me. So for a lot of people, your blog is the impetus for a lot of other writing gigs.
So I do get paid for what I do, and you do as well, I'm sure. But what would you say the best incentive is to have your blog? Is it sharing the message, or and maybe for the viewers that are watching, how will they be able to support themselves in the blog and the journey? Like, what's the most rewarding part of it? I know it's kind of like 8 million questions in one, but I'm trying to think of an end goal to help them find that perfect sweet spot of like, yes, I'm going to do it,
Again, it depends on what your intention is. For me, I love meeting really interesting people.
Yes.
I'm a Bravo TV freak, and I got invited to a Bravo party because of my blog, and I got to meet.
Wait, I saw that.
Yeah. Exactly. So, I mean, I've met people that I would have never normally
Was that
met.
at the country club?
This was at one of the housewives' birthday parties when
Of
she's like, come to the birthday party.
Yeah.
I met all the Shaws. So for me, it's been meeting really interesting people.
met all the Shaws.
I met all the Shaws. Okay. So it's about meeting really interesting people.
That's awesome.
It was awesome.
I think I've seen that show once.
And I do. Who doesn't like getting free clothes?
Yeah.
We get free clothes, which is great.
I don't get as many clothes. I get a ton of food and Anthropology sponsors.
That's nice.
But
really nice. We get a lot of fashion. I do. There's a big fashion element in my blog, so I do get a lot of free clothes.
Yeah, you get clothes. I get food. I get lifestyle products. I get cleaning products like Joy. My husband gets so excited when I get cleaning products. He's like, "Get on the ground and scrub, lady." I'm like, "Oh no, the maid's coming Friday."
Espresso machine.
Oh no! Do you know I went and got the Keurig that you posted because I didn't win your contest, but I was like that. I was so upset.
Yeah, and I love and the giveaways is a really fun aspect too, because you're like, yay, I get to pick a winner. So there's so many good things that come out of the blog. Like every time I get a package at the door, I'm like, I'm so happy I started a blog. But and sometimes my husband will go to events and he'll be like, I'm Sebastian Tettamanti, and the girl, he'll be like, are you related to Maria Tettamanti? So it's always really nice when my husband.
Maria's husband?
Yeah, so
his
he's become the husband of. Which
take a back seat, honey.
Exactly.
Yeah,
that's nice.
I'm the boss tonight.
Exactly.
So I want to know how you gained your followers, because I get a lot of questions on like how I got influence in blogging and social media, and how I can actually persuade people to like buy my products that we actually really love because we post about them. It's not just because we're getting paid.
Right.
So how did you gain your influence?
I think you have to fake it until you make it in the beginning.
Yeah.
So you have to establish yourself as this kind of expert.
Yeah.
So every time I made a post,
You're a guru, right?
Yes.
Everyone's a guru.
Yes.
Yeah.
So every time I made a blog post, I'd put it on Facebook, I'd put it on Twitter, I'd put it on Pinterest, I'd put it on Instagram. I don't think Instagram was there around the time. I put it on Google+. So every time you make a post, you have to put it on social media blasts. And from there, it just kind of like spreads like a forest fire. You know, people start sharing and retweeting, and you just have to be very annoying on social media.
Yeah. You know, I found actually, it's not so much the annoying factor, but it's empowering others to do what you want them to do. So on my blog, I'm like, refer a friend. I have a button to refer a friend. And before, they could have just easily typed in their friend's name and email address. But because I empowered them to refer a friend, you should see how many, my subscribers went up dramatically.
Right. So you need a subscriber button on your blog, because your subscribers every day get a little email from you saying, hi, I posted today. And once you build up some kind of momentum, you're gonna get more subscribers and more readers and more traffic to your blog.
You know, my web design team told me that less than 10% of bloggers have more than 2,000 subscribers. So really, it was really interesting to me, because when I started, I thought most bloggers had 100,000 subscribers or more, right? And so I felt like such a failure. But really, like if you look at that, and I was at the Miami Heat game last night, and I was thinking, how many people are in this arena? And I was thinking, wow, probably all of my Instagram followers are in this arena. And then I literally envisioned myself on the floor looking up at all of my followers. I'm like, wow, there's thousands of people that follow you. So it's really a larger number than 2 with 3 zeros behind it, or you know, whatever the number is. So it was inspiring to me to know that, and to know that even if you have a small number of subscribers, you still have influence over your community. And to go with that message, I had a client that paid me to write about their product in the early stages of my kind of life, and it was a cruelty-free product, and that's like a very niche market, right? So as the #1 cruelty-free blogger, I had a lot of people following me that were interested in that product, and so I sold the pants off of those products, and they're like, wow, what we paid you, we could have paid you like 10 times more with the amount you sold on your blog. Wow, that's really cool. I didn't know I was capable of that. It's really interesting.
No, it's crazy. Yeah.
So what would your one piece of inspiration be for people starting a blog and taking that idea of, should I do it, into, I'm gonna do it?
I think think the greatest inspiration I can give you guys is I went from watching Bravo TV to going to a Bravo party. So as long as you have a passion,
A-lister.
no, as long as you have a passion, your blog can afford you endless opportunities.
Amen.
As long as you have good intentions,
Yeah.
as long as you have a positive message, as long as you have good juju,
Yeah.
really good things can happen to you.
Yeah. So Maria has donated her time to My Kind of Life TV. So generous and kind of you. She's going to be in the comment section below, and we both want to know what you guys have as ideas for your own blog, and we're there to help you along your journey. So join us in the comment section below, and thank you again for watching My Kind of Life TV, where we share inspiration for kind people like yourself. And remember, until next Tuesday, that the only size that matters is the size of your heart and your brain. See you then. Your brain.
Oh my God, your ring!
Please get that.
That's what I'm sad. I'm like,
Oh,
you
this
did
is
it?
yeah.
Yeah, you're like,
And your ring. That sounded like a big fart.
I think, no, you're good now.
Was that you, Maria?
No, sorry.
My guests get really comfortable. I encourage it. So, oh my God.
Sounds like a dentist chair.
Oh my
Right? Like that drill?
You've had some bad dentists.
I know.
This is like awful.